Hi, this is Christina, and I'm here with my 48th journal to do a quick flip through for you. A little bit of housekeeping. She's 9 inches long and about 6.5 inches wide with a little over 2.5 inch spine. The cover is from Tim Holtz Abandoned and Eclectic collection, and there's actually two of those of his material sewn together to make the cover. And I've just left just this little placard on the front, and the back I've left open. The tie is just from some of the leftover material. And there are 3 signatures in about 136 pages, front and back. And the signatures are sewn in, basically a hidden signature, so there's nothing on the spine. As I said, this is the 48th journal, and it was created in June of this year, and it just fits in that little pocket there. And some really, really very, very pretty lace, and lots of lace throughout. I got this from a thrift shop. It's just a paper bag, but I just thought it was just kind of fun, little vintage stuff on it, and there's just a wax seal. And then inside, I believe this is from a Bella magazine, and I thought it kind of matched what we do with junk journals. But anyways, there's a little poem there, and then places for you to journal on the back. And there is plenty of room inside this little pocket for you to add anything else that you would like in there. There's lots of dyed, coffee dyed and sun dried papers in here. And like I said, a lot left open so that you can add your own style in. And this is just I think this is just a rub-on from 49 and Market. And this is actual vintage book and a vintage page, and I just put some clear protected over it, and then I believe this is from Taperology on there, just as a kind of a decoration. It's a very nice deep pocket. And inside, again, from Taperology, or not Taperology, I'm sorry, from Bella magazine, which I love, says, I stepped into a bookshop and breathed in that perfume of paper and magic that strangely no one had ever thought of bottling. And then there's a place on the back that you can make some notes or do some journaling on that. And then there's plenty of places here for you to do that. I love these digitals. They're from Creative Fabrica, I'm sorry. And then these are pages that I have dyed. Again, places for you to journal. And then I just took, this is probably from Tim Holtz ephemera. And then this is just a card that I put some collage there, and you can journal on the back of that. And then this was kind of interesting. It was just took some of the digitals and made little resin charms. And this, I believe, is from Sarah Lee from her Make a Journal with Me. I believe that's where that is from. And I did have some leftover. This is some leftover Tim Holtz material. Just made just a little ruffle there. And then you've got a journaling card here. And this is from, I think these are the butterflies from, I think they are actually from Tim Holtz too, and just cut it out of black cardstock. And then I just took a card here, not a card, but a tag, and just did some collage on there. And then the center is printed on thick vellum, and I like the way that it kind of sees through to the digital underneath there. And again, more journaling space for you there. And again, that's left open. This is lined paper, and you can journal on that and this. And then this is just a little booklet. I did some stamping. Here are some little extra papers that you can use to journal on and put throughout the journal if you would like. And that just goes in that little belly band. And again, I did some, I think it's called those rub-on flowers from 49 and Market. Places for you to journal here. And then this card, I took, I believe, some black modeling paste, and then did some gold sprays over it. And it says peace, happiness, and love. And then you've got a little journaling card there. And again, more space for you to do some journaling. And this I printed, excuse me, on muslin. And I think it just came out really pretty, and it really matched the colors that I had dyed this paper in with. And then this just a little journaling card, and you've got places to write, spaces to write on the back there. Always listen to your heart. It will show you the way. Again, more writing space there. And this is an envelope from 1947. And I did a little bit of stamping on it, but I wanted to kind of preserve the envelope. And then you've just got a little journaling card inside there. And this is the other part of that little paper bag. And inside you've got a little journaling card there. And again, plenty of room to add more stuff to that if you'd like. And that's the end of our first signature. Here's the start of our second one. And again, a little resin charm that I made. And I believe I think this is cardstock from something, but I just liked the colors, thought it matched pretty well. And then this just was from my master board along with some leftover lace, and you can journal on the back of that. And lace, I don't know where I got it, but I think it's just beautiful. And again, another one of those collaged tags. I love this green. I thought it matched that digital pretty well. And again, another one of the resin charms. This I just did some stamping, and these were kind of blank little spots here. I just did some stamping, and then you've got a couple of journaling cards there. This did some sewing. This again is from Tim Holtz. This is material. I did some embossing, and I think this is a Simon Says stamp set, and just did some gold embossing there. And this, I love this lace. I think it's so pretty. And you've got this. You've got places to journal here, and on the back, again from Bella Magazine, even your worst year had sunny days. It had new episodes of a TV show you loved. It had a song you learned the words to it. It had dogs to say hello to. Now that appeals to me because I can't pass a dog without saying hi to it. So anyways, there's places for you to journal on the back of that, and I'll fix that in a second. And this is a copy of a vintage ledger. This is not actually the vintage ledger. Oh, and this was, I printed on the back of one of my coffee stained papers, and I just love this digital. I think it printed really well. This is from lace that was left over on a wedding dress, and just a little card there. And this is lace that I got from my friend in India. And this is a piece of lace that I resined inside there. It's kind of hard to see, but I thought it matched that orange color. And there's your center for the second signature, again, printed on thick vellum. And the other part of that ledger, again, it's not, it's just a copy of one from 1924. And then this is the other part where I printed on the paper. I thought that turned out kind of cool. And this particular charm, that printable came from Sara Lee. And then I just took a bunch of the papers that I had dyed, and you can pull that string and you know, you can add to this or take these pieces and put them throughout the journal if you want. A little dragonfly, and that's inside that butterfly. And then you've got a journaling card there. I love this lace. I think it's so pretty. And this is just an index card that I did some mixed media, added a wooden button, and you can journal on the back of that or make little notes. Oops, there you go. And this is from my mother-in-law's, from her storage unit. I don't know the date of this particular postcard, but I thought it matched very well there. But it is definitely vintage. And then some really, really pretty lace down the center. And that's the end of our second signature. Here's our third. And we start off, and I think this is my porch prints. This particular digital, I'm not sure. And I just did some stamping inside. And then I did some collage on that. And I thought that came out kind of interesting. So that goes in there. And then, like I said, you can do something on the back of that if you want. And again, these are, I can't remember the name of these butterflies, but these are definitely the Tim Holtz butterflies, or from the his die set, and I just did some sprays and added some black accents. And then you've got a little journaling card there. And again, more places for you to journal. And this came out of an antique book. I believe it was in the 1800s, and I just put a page in there. And then I did some collage on the front of that, and then some gold embossing from that Simon Says stamp. I think there's two, yes. There's two different journaling tags there. And then I just did some dies, probably Lindy's Magicals on that. And this was a seed packet that my husband was planting seeds out front, and I just loved the front of it. So it's just it just matched perfectly. And again, another one of those tags that I did some collaging on. This is just held with the paper clip. It's just a journaling card that you can journal on the back of that. And then I added just some little lace that kind of peeks out the bottom, which I thought was really pretty. This is from my master board, and you can journal on the back of that. This was left over. I have no idea where that came from, but I loved it, and it matched my the dyed paper, not dyeing paper, and then another collage tag there. And the center, I think this digital is so pretty, but it kind of, the butterfly kind of matches through there, and then you've got the thick vellum here. And again, places for you to add your own information, or not information, but anything that you'd like to put there. Again, another one of those tags, and I love this. I thought this was really pretty. Wherever you are creating beauty around you, you are restoring your own soul. Whenever you are creating. So that just goes in here, and you can journal on the back of that, and he goes right back in there. So it just kind of peeks through that window, and then held together with a piece of muslin that I have done some stamping on. And then again, I don't know where this came from, but I added some glossy accents on the center of the flowers. And then you've just got, I'm sure this is from either Taperology or one of those places. This is not actual vintage. Places for you to journal. The other part of that book page, more places to journal. And then I think that's from the center. And then you've got beautiful lace. And on the inside of the book, this is also Tim Holtz paper from his paper pad. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Sorry, I try to get through these, and every single time I get on here, I always kind of fumble a little bit, but I'm trying. Anyways, this will be located in my Etsy shop, and I thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.